Let's go, let's go, let's go, guys. Welcome back to Hightop Baseball. Guys, our Florida Gators start the season 4-1. A good weekday sweep of Stetson on Tuesday, Wednesday, right? So for right now, weekday games do matter. Stay tuned, see if that changes anytime soon. But really good stuff these last couple days, man. Good episode for you guys today, right? We're going to dive into game 5 of the season, that Wednesday night game back in Condren versus Stetson. Talk about some things we liked, talks about some things we didn't like, right? There was a couple plays that I was talking about on Twitter we'll pull up today and kind of walk through a little bit. So good stuff there. We're going to dive in a little bit to our weekend series this week with Kennesaw State, right? A team that's undefeated so far. They've had a couple games canceled due to weather. So dive in. What can we expect from them, from that team coming in town this weekend? And then we're going to talk the home run challenge, right? We had a bunch of you guys make a bunch of predictions trying to win that 2017 replica ring. And we got some home runs on the board already. So we're going to start talking where we're at there, kind of where we're projected, what they're on pace for the season. Really good stuff for you guys today. So let's get into it. All righty. So let's go ahead and start with that fifth game of the season so far, that Wednesday night game in Condren versus Stetson. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up the box score like we always do, right? And we're going to walk through it. Right, 10-10 on hits, right? Stetson matched us in this game. They were swinging the bat well. We were swinging the bat well, right? Another game where a lot of hits, a lot of runs, right? The bats have yet to let us down this season. I don't think it's going to be something we need to worry about, right? I think you're going to have players get cold. It's just part of baseball, right? You can't hit 400 or 500 forever. You're going to have guys get cold, but I think we have the depth on the bench to kind of rotate guys in and keep that lineup healthy. So really good stuff there, right? 10 hits from both ball clubs. Kyle Jones kind of comes back to earth, right? He first 4 games went double, single for his leadoff at bat. So Kyle Jones comes back to earth a little bit, right? 0 for 4. He got hit by a pitch, so he's still getting on base. Fine there, right? That's just baseball, man. Brennan Lawson, 2 for 3 with a double, 3 total bases, 2 walks, 2 ribbies, 1 run scored. The kid's just incredible, right? You really good backside swing on the sinker ball, right? You had the guy that was kind of throwing sidearm, which as a lefty, right, with a righty throwing sidearm, you expect that ball to kind of tail away from you on certain pitches. So really good to see Lawson kind of stay with it, take that thing backside. This kid's an absolute elite hitter. He's an elite bat. And we just see it night in and night out. Cade Curlin, 1 for 5, 1 total base, 2 strikeouts. We're going to see more out of Cade, right? I don't know if he's going to stay in the 3 hole, if we're going to kind of shift things up. We're going to see more out of Cade. Don't worry about that there. Pretty good at bats. We'll look at the QABs here in a little bit. Ethan Serwick, 1 for 4, 1 total base, 1 ribby, 1 walk. Again, we're gonna get more out of Ethan as well, right? Some of these guys started hot, others started maybe a little slower. We'll see that start to shift here. That's just part of baseball. Blake Sear, 2 for 5, 5 total bases, home run, RBI, scored twice. The senior is red hot to start spring. Absolutely red hot. I mean, he took a home run backside this game. He's hitting it all over the place. He's throwing lasers over the fence all over the place. So really good to see from Blake Sear, man. Jacob Kendall, 1 for 4, 1 total base, nice single with a run scored. Cole Stanford, 1 for 4, 2 runs, 4 total bases, a home run and an RBI. That home run, man, absolute laser. That home run by Cole Stanford, man, we had to watch it, right? I mean, just an absolute nuke. Watch him just. I mean, he just sits there to take it in, man. Enjoy it. That's an absolute clobber shot, man. What a mammo. You could hear it off the bat. And the guys out here, man, come on. Someone's got to make a play out there in the outfield, man. You can't let that ball bounce over the fence. But what an absolute bomb by Cole Stanford. And then we had to take a look at this from another angle, right? When you hit a ball like this, like Cole Stanford did on Wednesday night, man, you just got to take it in. And just an absolute pimp job, right? Off the bat, kid, act like you've been there before, man. Kid, that's what he does, right? Great to see out of the backup catcher. Maybe we see him come in and play a little first. Maybe we see him DH a little bit, right? There's a lot of movement going around, but when your backup catcher's hitting like this, man, it's going to be hard to keep him out of the lineup. And then we got Castrayer, man. The freshman is absolutely hitting the crap out of the ball. Man, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored. He had a triple. He had a home run, 7 total bases, an RBI, a hit by pitch. I mean, this kid's doing absolutely everything. And when you're hitting like this, kid, man, we got to go back. We got to watch some highlights. Just an absolute bomb. I think I saw Adrian at GDP said that he hit it off his face up there on the scoreboard. Man, Cash Strayer is absolutely hitting the crap out of the ball, man. It is fun to watch. He's putting good at bats on even when they don't show up in the box store, man. This kid to see we get this kid for 3 more years. The lefty showing power like this as a freshman. This is super exciting stuff to watch out of Cash Strayer. And then you got Colt Myers, man, right? 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Not the best at night from Colt at the plate. Like we've talked about, man, this kid, he's an elite glove. He's a plus glove. So when we have him in the lineup, it's for his glove, right? Hitting's going to be a plus there, but it goes back to that Brendan Lawson, right? If he can play short, right, it kind of lets us play around with pieces in other parts of the field and making sure our best hitters are in the lineup. So Brendan's still at short, right? But if anything were to change there, right, you'd expect to see more of a Colt Myers or a Sam Miller, which unfortunately is going to, I think, hurt our batting order a little bit. So in terms of the ceiling of this hitting team, man, we gotta make sure we keep all these infielders hitting well. Really good stuff to see here out of the batting nine from Florida on Wednesday night. Then we'll jump down to pitching, right? Luke McNeely, we see Luke get the start, what they're calling a controlled start. I think he was a 40 pitch count, right? Expectation going into tonight. We definitely want to, I think, see him this weekend, which is why we only let him go 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 9 batters faced, right? Good stuff out of Luke. Some nasty curveballs. Remember, this was a kid that has a lot of run on his fastball, right? And so when you see movement like this on an off speed, I mean, just nasty, absolutely nasty stuff, man. Luke was dealing. Luke looked good. We're definitely going to see a lot of him on weekends once the conference and the big games roll around. So good to see Luke get a controlled start, get some innings under his belt after not seeing him over the weekend. Once they pulled Luke, they brought in Jackson Hoyt, which second lefty, right? We've seen Ernesto come out over the weekend. Jackson Hoyt, the second lefty we've seen so far this year. So cool to see there, right? What lefties we're going to kind of get to trust in these lineups and in these rotations. And he looked all right, man. 1 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, 9 batters faced. And he gave up that home run, right? It was lefty. He looked like he was going to try to hit that outside corner, left it in a little bit. Experienced hitter on Stetson, went ahead and pulled him over the fence, right? And then we'll talk about it here in a little bit. But the 2 pop-ups in the top of the 4th inning that got dropped, man, both of those recorded as hits. Both of those should have been caught, right? So we'll talk about here in the next topic, but he definitely didn't benefit from the defensive plays on that side. Ricky Reith, 1 inning, 3 hits, an earned run, strikeout, 5 batters faced. He looked all right, right? A really good outing from him on Friday. So just good to see him continuing to get loose, get arms, get throwing. Ernesto Lugo Canchola, man, this kid comes to Gainesville. I think he was community college to D2 and now he's pitching in Gainesville, right? And this kid has retired 17 batters in a row to start his career in Gainesville. Just absolutely insane stuff. I talked about it on Saturday. His movement, I was watching from kind of dead behind home plate. The movement on his pitches, man, is fun to watch. He's a 6'5" lefty. That's not easy, right? That ball's kind of on your face when he's letting go of it. Lefties are always a little harder to hit. He's got good movement. He's low 90s. This kid's a lot of fun to watch. And I think my favorite part about this kid's his energy. I mean, look at the confidence. Just strutting around that mound. He knew what he was doing on that pitch. He came off, when they pulled him, he came out and he was pumping the crowd up. I mean, I love to see that energy. It's got kind of like a closer mentality to him. And I think that's going to pay off in SEC ball when you got 8,000 Gator fans cheering you on, man. He's going to feed into that. That's going to fuel him. This kid's been a ton of fun to watch so far this season. All right, so then we brought in Rittenauer for a third. 1 hit, 2 walks, right? Just wasn't finding the zone. Sully went and got him, right? As expected, man. If you're not going to throw strikes, we're going to try you another night, right? We'll go get someone that can. So not the best night out of Rittenauer. That's fine. Don't expect that to hurt him at all. We're going to see him in big moments all year. Just definitely need him to throw more strikes. Jackson Barberry, 1 1/3, 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 4 batters faced. This is our closer, guys. Big moments, close games, 8th, 9th innings. We're going to expect to see Barberry come out and slam the door, man. He's looked really good so far this year. So really good stuff out of Jackson. And then fielding, right? And this is kind of what we'll dive into after we look at QABs. No errors, questionable, right? I think we could have called at least 1 or 2 of those pop-ups an error. I know not in the box score, right? It technically didn't touch a glove. That second pop-up, Blake Sear dove for it, right? So that's an extra effort play. Technically not errors in the book, but when I'm tracking freebies, right, those balls got to get. Both of them were in the air for over 4 seconds, right? I think the first one was 4.5. The second one was over 6 seconds in the air. Ball's got to get caught. So okay, we can call them. They won't be errors in the box score, but probably should have gone down as a freebie in the advanced metrics book. All right, so on advanced metrics for game 5, let's go ahead and pull these up. We hit 512, right? It's the same QAB average that we had in game 1. That game 1 lost to UAB. Plenty to get the job done. I've added LOBs this game, right? So left on base. How many guys did we leave on base, right? Because I went through and I saw first man on offense. We went 1 for 8, not very good. They went 2 for 9, a little bit better. But both teams left on a lot of guys, right? I saw the Gators had, I think, 2 innings with the bases loaded that we left on. Clearly, Stetson had worse, right, with 10 men left on base. So neither team was really getting the leadoff on, but you can tell, right, they were getting other runners on with 1 out. So good stuff there, right? Quality start knows that controlled start out of Luke. We weren't expecting to get a quality start in the metric book for this game. And then the freebie battle. Each team had 3 walks, 2 hit by pitches, and 1 wild pitch, right? The difference here is the errors. And if we're going to call even those 2 pop-ups errors in the advanced metrics book, right, it's still 9-8. We win the freebie battle, we win the game. So we're 5 games in now. If you win the freebie battle, you win the game. If you lose the freebie battle, you lose the game, right? Those metrics hold true. So good stuff there, man. Good win, 9-3 by the Florida Gators over Stetson. All right, so let's jump over to quality at bats from game 5. Brendan Lawson 4 for 5. Cash Strayer 3 for 4. Blake Sear 3 for 5. I mean, those 3 guys just absolutely elite nights at the plate. Really good to see. Cole Stanford, Colt Myers, right? Colt Myers 0 for 4 at the plate in the box score, 2 for 4 in the QAB box score. So 500 is good. That's a good night at the plate. Maybe not seeing it in results on the field, but that's fine. Cade Curlin, Ethan Surwick, Kyle Jones, right? Not their best nights at the plate. Jacob Kendall, not your best night at the plate. So it was definitely a down night on the QABs after back-to-back run rules. The Saturday that we had, the run rule on Tuesday night. So you don't expect these bats to stay hot forever. But these QABs, right, are going to be the telling metrics whether or not you're putting at least good at-bats on. Then you can later expect those at-bats to turn into results. And then we'll dive over to the season QABs. So Brendan Lawson's almost 700 quality at-bats. That's absolutely insane. Cash Strayer's almost 700. Carson Bowen's almost 700. Just really crazy good stuff, right? Curlin's still doing well. Sear, Kyle Jones, good stuff at the plate, right? And as a team overall, we're 560. That's right there where you want to be. Over 500s above average, over 600s elite. So good stuff here out of our QABs. All right, so let's jump over to some questionable errors, right? We've kind of talked about it. It's the 2 pop-ups in the top of the 4th inning on Wednesday night. And kind of a talking point we've had on this page for the first couple games is Brendan Lawson's glove. Brendan Lawson's ceiling in terms of MLB ceiling, right? What's going to get him the most money paid in the draft is for him playing shortstop. We can move the kid to third. We can move the kid to first, right? And he's going to be fine there. But Brendan Lawson, his agent, his camp, right, and even Gator fans in Sully, right, we want to see this kid play to the absolute most of his abilities. We want to get this kid paid. We want this kid to have a great MLB career. And his ceiling, right, is at shortstop. If he plays first, MLB guys aren't drafting first baseman as high, right? You don't get as much plus out of the glove to make it worth it. So if this kid wants to be a top 5 pick, right, it's at shortstop. And it's those defensive plays, the bat's there. We're not worried about the bat. It's the defensive plays proving he can play shortstop, proving that he's going to be able to make some of these tougher plays, and even these routine plays are kind of where the question marks lie, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pull up. I couldn't find the video. I can't show you guys the ESPN recording, right? So you can go back and watch it. It's the top of the 4th inning. And this is kind of just a picture I took of right when the ball was hit. So you can see there's a lefty up. Brendan Lawson shifted a little bit more behind second base because that lefty's up. I'm not sure Blake Sear should have been playing that deep. I wonder if Sully and the guys, when they rewatch this, say, hey, maybe we should have brought you in a little bit. The key didn't look like the biggest lefty in the world. It's not like there's a runner on first and we're playing no doubles, trying to keep the ball in front of us. So maybe he was a little too deep, right? But where that ball lands, you can see Brendan Lawson's kind of just tracking the ball. He spent a lot of the time running with his glove up, just things that they teach you not to do as an outfielder, right? You shouldn't be drifting to the ball. You should, right, hustle, get under it, to make sure you can get under the ball, right? You don't want to just kind of drift to it because those balls drift with the wind, right? It's been windy out there at Condren. They said yesterday wind's blowing dead out. So just get under it, right? And then you can kind of make your edits to it based on how the wind's carrying the ball. But A little bit of drifting here by Brendan Lawson. As an infielder, right, I played second base. I understand it's scary going out into the outfield, right? You got a guy barreling towards you, probably going to dive. You don't want to get your legs taken out. But we got to have a little more hustle, a little more effort out to that ball. And then you hope Blake Sear calls you off and you peel off, right? But Blake Sear's super deep. Brendan Lawson, if he would have recognized that, I think he hustles out to this ball a little quicker. In the moment, I said, hey, that's Sears' ball. You got to go get it. Didn't really realize it watching it live how deep he was. So this ball drops, right? Doesn't get touched. It's a hit in the box score. Probably should have been an error. And then the next hitter, right, pops out to right field. So then you got runner on first. We get a righty this time. It must have been a backside hitter, right? You can see Kyle Jones is a little shifted to right center. And this kid pops one up. And you can see Lawson turns right? He goes back towards the left fielder. And I think that wind caught it, right? And it crossed him up because you can see the ball landed the other way. Not a great hustle effort out of Kyle Jones here. Not a great hustle effort out of Brendan Lawson here. Both of them just kind of dog. And I think Kyle also thought it was more towards Blake, and that wind brought it back towards him. He's over in right center, so probably felt like he was out of the play. But as your center fielder, right, I want you involved in everything. You're our best defensive outfielder out there, so I'm sure he'll watch that and make his adjustments. But this play right here, you could see Blake Sear was pissed that he let that ball 2 batters ago drop, because look how far he is away from where this ball drops. And Blake Sear makes a diving play on this, almost makes the play, right? He gets a glove on it, but he's the probably 4th player closest to this. I mean, I think Cade Curlin might even be closer to this ball than Blake Sear is. So just not great stuff out of our outfield. I think that wind blowing out definitely had our outfielders playing a little deeper than they probably should have. And when you see that, right, as a middle infielder, even as a corner out an infielder, right, those shallow pop-ups, you got to go hustle. You got to get out there to them when your outfielders are playing deep. Let them call you off. But anything in that kind of intermediate bloop zone is going to be yours. It's going to be yours to go get. First pop-up, right, I timed them. 4.4 on the carry, right? It was in the air, hang time for 4.4 seconds. Way too long to not get caught. Right, that's not a bloop. That's a serious pop-up. That ball's got to get caught. Second pop-ups, over 6 seconds. I got like 6.1, 6.2. A couple times I recorded it. I mean, that is an absolute must-catch ball, right? And I think when you see those hang times, right, that's where I think the errors come in. These aren't bloops. These are balls that spend a lot of time in the air. Plenty of time for our guys to get under it. You can see some lack of effort maybe. Just got to be better, right? We're up 7-2, top of the 4th. It's your back-to-back game. It's your, 5th game in 4 or 5 days, whatever. So I get it, right? But it's too early in the season. These are errors we can't be making. It honestly resulted in Hoyt getting pulled, right? Because these are both counted as hits. Next thing you know, you got first and second on, and he ended up getting pulled here. So just an area where we got to be better. And I think I'm going to put it on our captain, right? I think Brendan Lawson, right? We got to show some effort. Got to get out quickly to those balls, man. We know you can do it. We want you to be a shortstop. We want you to be a big league shortstop. You're a top 5 pick. And these are just little learning lessons, man, right? He's only a sophomore. He's a shortstop, and I think we're proving he can play shortstop. So definitely want to see a little bit more out of him on these plays. All right, so let's jump over to Kennesaw State. Right, so we sweep Stetson on the weekday games. We got Kennesaw State coming in town this weekend. I believe they're 3-0 to start the season. They had a couple canceled due to weather. They've beat Evansville, they beat Marshall, and they beat West Georgia. Right, so not the best talent in the world. They beat Evansville 11-3. They beat Marshall 10-9. They beat West Georgia 9-4. So they're 3-0 to start the season. Conference USA preseason polls, right? They were picked to finish 3rd in the Conference USA, voted on by all the league's head coaches. So a pretty decent ball club, I think they're expecting, right? Not a top elite talent in the Conference USA, but definitely one of the better teams in this conference. A couple guys, right, get some preseason all-conference recognition. Wesley A-Lig, right, an infielder named to PG's preseason all-conference USA squad. After a strong showing as a sophomore last year. Josh Gibbs, another infielder, right, as a freshman, named to the PG's Perfect Games preseason all-conference group, and was highlighted as one of the top freshmen entering this season. And then a national award watch list, right? They have Daniel Powell, a right-handed relief pitcher. He was named to the NCBWA Stopper of the Year, right? So one of those relief pitchers coming out preseason watch list. It's going to be the first Kennesaw State player to make that watch list since 2017. So pretty big deal there, right? I think we've seen him throw two times in the 3 games they've played so far. I think he had 4 innings in the first game, struck out 9. So pretty good stuff, right? I think we'll see him at least once, probably a couple times, maybe Friday and Sunday. I'm sure he'll eat a couple innings out of the bullpen in both games. And then just taking a look at their team overall. Right, you can see right here on the left, right? Those are the 3 games we just talked about. Batting average 317, right? So they're not hitting the ball like crazy. You can see how they put up some good runs, 11, 10, and 9. 1 home run per game, right? So doesn't seem like they're a big power hitting team. 3.3 doubles per game though. So they are finding gaps. They are getting extra base hits, 0.6 triples per game. So maybe they're not getting the big fly, right? But they're getting the extra bases. Scoring 10 a game. Good fielding percentage, 972. Individual leaders, right? They got a guy hitting 583, Grayson McCollum. Scored 6 times, 2 per game. They got Charlie Jones leading the way with the 1 home run, right? Not a big home run hitting team. 6 RBIs and 3 stolen bases for Cooper Williams. Daniel Powell, that relief pitcher, right? He's thrown 5 2/3 across the 2 games of the 3 so far this season. And Daniel Powell has gotten a win. He's gotten a save, right? So I think big leverage situations, if we can't get out ahead of this team, or even if we get behind this team a little bit, expect to see Daniel Powell come out. Definitely one of the more trusted arms out of the bullpen for this Kennesaw State team. All right, and then last topic for today's show, right, the home run contest. So I was collecting predictions from you guys leading up to game 1. Always fun to kind of get to track who's going to lead this Gator baseball team in home runs this year. We've got a couple of them so far already. So what I did was I went ahead and pulled all the predictions we made, sorted it by home runs. You can see name, home run, and then kind of the contact. I asked you guys to give me your Twitter handle or something I can use to contact you. So this is the predictions we've got for this season. And then on the right side, you can see there, right, these are the current leaders, right? So Blake Sear, sole possession. He's hit 3 home runs this year. Lawson's got 2. Cash Strayer's got 2. Jones, Curlin, Kendall, and Stanford have all hit 1. And then I'm just doing simple math here, right? We've played 5 games out of 56. We have 51 total. So I've just kind of tried to pace out what these home runs, assuming they just continue to hit like they have been, right? That's just math. It's not how it's going to end up. It also doesn't include postseason, right? Remember, the prediction contest is every baseball game we play this spring, right? So this includes our 56 regular season games. It doesn't include any SEC games, any postseason games, any supers, regionals, Omaha, right? Well, we're going to include everything. Right, so this pace right here is just regular season, and then once we get there, right, it's gonna be, you never know how many games you have left, right? You don't know when your last game is gonna be, so it's gonna be kind of fun if someone maybe has the guess right going into our last game, and it's a win or lose, right? We win, we play another, then someone hits a home run, they lose their guess. So gonna be fun to kind of track this throughout the end of the season, but this is kind of where we stand so far right now. All right, guys, exciting stuff. Florida Gators are 4-1 heading into the weekend. I think the bats are hot. The bats are looking really fun to watch, man. We're not leaning too heavily on the home runs, but we're still hitting them. Got a lot of guys that can hit them. I think it's just this team's just deep and talented across the batting order. The big thing this weekend, man, we got to see Liam throw strikes. We got to see Liam get ahead of hitters. We got to see him throw those off speeds for strikes, right? This kid is one of the best pitchers in college baseball. And I think a lot of the national media and even a lot of the Gator fans, right, have been really critical of him after that Friday game against UAB last week. So really big get right game for Liam. Time to shut some people up and show him who he is, which I'm excited to watch. So really good stuff there. Aiden King, just keep doing what he's doing Saturday, right? Friday, Saturday. I hope to see our starters kind of eat some innings. Even Sunday, right? Cooper Walls has been pitching incredible. So I kind of want to see this pitching staff rise. I think Aiden, Cooper, some of the weekday starters, our bullpen, that they've all looked really good, right? And it's just to continue that success. And then add Liam to it, right? And he needs to be our horse and our leader of that success in that pitching room. So exciting stuff, man. We'll be back on Monday. We'll kind of highlight the 3 Kennesaw State games from over the weekend. Maybe post something Sunday, talk about Friday, Saturday, so that Monday's not too long. But make sure you subscribe, right? Subscribe, hit that bell so that you know when I post a video, you get notified. You can watch it. You can keep up to date, man. Really appreciate you guys. We're over 400 subscribers on YouTube, man. It's absolutely incredible. You guys are the absolute best. Keep commenting. Keep letting me know what you think, man. I appreciate it, guys. And as always, God bless and go Gators.